I was live on remote in Nashville. 2 weeks ago, I was live on remote at Outdoor Augusta for the Betty's Branch paddle race. Kayaks, all canoes, all kind of good stuff. 1 week ago, I was on remote with Jim Pate here at the CSRA Mustang and Ford show at Gerald Jones Lincoln, and today I am on the remote again with co-host James Pate here at the Coffee and Cars event at the Augusta Judicial Center. James, are we ready?
I think we should switch to go.
So cut the master switch on.
Yes.
And fire this bad boy up. And speaking of cutting the master switch on, applying a little throttle and giving it some ignition, we have a very, very special guest here with us today. We will have Chris Krug. He'll be joining us shortly, and he has his jet-powered minivan sitting right next to us. So for those of you that can watch on Facebook, just go to Facebook Live, and you can, at the C&C Auto Show, and we'll be panning around and showing the van. We will also be talking to Chris very shortly, and he's going to be telling us about some neat things that he's been doing. I mean, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's not your usual soccer cruiser, is it?
Well, I mentioned before that he kind of reminds me of the guy named Doc on the DeLorean, Back to the Future.
Just a little higher passenger capacity, maybe.
He is. Well, he's always doing something. He's building something or doing something really wild,
right.
And he loves that, and I love hearing about it. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of fun. And along with all the crazy things going on, we'll also be answering automotive questions, sharing automotive tips. So we want you to call in and join us. And the number, 800-224-9090. That's 800-224-9090. That's on any Saturday morning. Or you can also watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, or at ccautoshow.com. And again, we're at the Coffee and Cars event, so it would be almost impossible for us to start out without talking to somebody about a beautiful car.
We don't have to go very far, do we?
No, we don't. I think one's right behind us. And also, so many of these bullets. Look at this one over here.
Look over your right shoulder.
Oh, my goodness. Look at here. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, let's go back here and talk to Jerry Atkinson. Jerry, what in the world do you have here?
32 Roadster.
It's
a kit car.
Wow. Well, I'm going to tell you, it is absolutely beautiful. Tell us a little bit about it, how long you've had it, and some of the things that you've done to it.
Well, in 2016, I bought the body and the frame. Friend and I built an engine, and over a 4-5 year period, I built it. It was my stay out of trouble retirement project.
Uh-huh. What type engine does it have?
It has a built 350 in it.
Who did all the beautiful woodwork inside there?
Well, I did the woodwork. The ladies down off of Augusta did the upholstery.
Uh-huh.
And I had it painted. Other than that, I did everything myself.
That
so
must have been Liberty Upholstery. Is that
correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, they do very nice over there.
Yeah, the ladies do a good job.
Yeah, they do. Okay, well, look
at it. It's even got a high center mounted stop lamp.
Yes.
So that shows you it's an old and the new blended together.
And it has a Carson top, hard top that you put on it. And when you do that, that piece comes off, and then there's a light inside the rear window of the Carson top. So just so people can see you, because you're smaller than most cars.
Well, if they keep their windows down, they're going to hear you, won't they?
They should hear me. Yes, they should.
Hey, speaking of that, what would you say if you were to jump in there and fire it up for us and
Sure.
let us listen to it?
I'll hold this while you go and twist a key. Oh, it's even got the door that opens the right way for easy entry and exit.
Yeah, one's called suicide doors.
Aaron loves that.
I do.
Smell the gasoline.
I love the smell of that gas burning in the morning. All right.
Yeah, it's not built for economy.
Okay.
Well,
I love it. That is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, that's a treat, isn't it?
Okay, Jerry,
Well, I think I'm going to move.
okay, you getting ready to move the car? Okay.
Bring another stellar car
Sounds
in.
good.
Yeah.
Jerry wants to go ahead and get his spot that he's looking at too.
Yeah, somewhere where there's some shade.
Hurry up.
Hey,
Good,
Jerry,
thank
thank you for being here. We appreciate it
welcome,
very much. Okay, want to mention a little bit about coffee and cars. In most areas that you go to, that you're in, there's a coffee and cars event around, and it has to do with a lot of people who love cars and love coffee, and they want to talk a little bit about the cars as they're drinking coffee. So you go find that all of these that are here now and starting to pull in, the event hadn't even started yet, and all of these are starting to pull in, are people who just love to talk to other people about cars. And it's a good family-friendly atmosphere that you're around, and it's the opportunity to just have some fun, talk about cars. Jim, what would you say, what's some of the type cars that you see most commonly out here?
Well, that's the one thing about the few times I've been here, I've noticed that can be anybody's
Exactly.
daily drivers.
Yeah.
But for example, when we were setting up, there was a cluster of late 60s to 70 Camaros come in.
Yeah.
They parked over here together. They're on the other side of Chris's van. But then there's a new Corvette, and right in front of it, what is it, from the 40s or something? Big customized.
Yes.
Can't tell from the back what it is. But then I saw a really nice couple of square body Chevy pickups here. There's a 1940s or 50s something.
I'd say
The
50.
the body looks original, but you know something's happened
58,
underneath.
59.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Here's somebody with a new Porsche, newish Porsche.
And that is what I like. You're not just walking down a string of Corvettes or walking down a string of Camaros. You walk around and it's just a mixture. And I love both. Now I love going to a car show with just the best of the best, but I also love car shows where you have a mixture of just absolutely beautiful cars that have been either restored or modified tremendously, and then right next to it you'll see one that may not have been modified as much, but just brings back a lot of memory. Well, like the Chevy truck over there.
And the thing about this group is, if there's a chance of rain, they don't care. They still come.
Yes.
Some car shows are a little more weather dependent, let's say.
Yeah.
But
And
this
some
one,
car shows they don't even drive the vehicles there. They just take them out of a trailer and put them on display. These people are driving. A lot of them people drive every day. They have fun with their cars. I mean, a Volkswagen Bug, you don't get a chance to see VWs very often. Real VWs, the original VWs.
the ones you had to actually drive.
Yeah. And you don't get a chance to see those very often anymore. So being out here, what do we have over there? That looks like a Camaro of some kind. I don't know.
That's going to be
68, 69.
9 or yes.
Yeah, that's
Super
a
Sport.
beautiful car.
Of course.
And he's walking around. He's kind of wiping it down. That's the other thing that a lot of these people do when they're bringing a car to Coffee and Cars is they'll walk around a little bit. They'll kind of clean it up to where it'll look good when people come by. And that's it's just an exciting thing to be able to show others what cars did look like and what yours looks like and make it look good at the same time, because he is really giving that Camaro a workover. Okay, big surprise when we get back. We're going to have my friend Chris Krug coming up here, and he's going to tell us what he's been up to lately. He's already got his van parked right next to the show. He's got the back open. The jet engines are hanging out. You can see the jet engine from the side in there, and he is standing here. Can't wait to talk to Chris, and we'll do that as soon as we return.
It's looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. We'll be right back with more of the C&C Auto Show. Have a special guest sitting here with us. We have Chris Krug, and Chris has a jet-powered minivan. He's been on the show before many times, and I like to keep track of Chris because he does such wild things. And you know how I love to have fun. I love electronics. I love vehicles, and Chris kind of combines everything together and just does a lot of stuff to have fun with all of that. Chris, welcome back to the show. Where have you been?
Oh, I've been real busy. I'm so busy it's making me dizzy. But I haven't had a lot of time to mess with the van. I probably only had it out about 3 times. And the big thing I'm working on is the laser project I discussed with you one time. But I sold the machine up in Chattanooga, and we finally got that machine installed. And I was spending time with the customer, and I've been up there for the last 3 weeks. But it's amazing. This guy had a laser I installed about, I think it was 28 years ago. And we were cutting some 3/8 stainless. And this new laser is over twice the power, but because of the better technology, we were able to cut that stainless over 10 times faster than we were cutting it.
Wow.
3/8 thick stainless, and it was just cutting it like a hot knife through butter. And this laser is only 8 kilowatts. Right now, we offer lasers up to 30 kilowatts. We don't recommend going to that kind of power unless you really need it. But there's so many interesting changes going on in the laser industry right now. And this company I'm with, TCI Cutting, they're all run by engineers, and they're like right on the forefront of this. And it's really exciting to be involved with an engineering-based company again. So I've been doing that with the lasers, and end of last year I won a burnout contest.
Oh,
with
you
the
did?
van. Yeah, I don't know if you heard about that, but
I did see pictures of that.
yeah, there was
I
some
hadn't talked
good
to you
video going around. Yeah, it was a unique experience. I was there with my girlfriend, and what happened was, like, right before I went to go up, the alternator died in the van. You know, and I got all these LEDs and stuff on it, and I didn't want to miss out. So my girlfriend, she was pretty cool. She pulled her BMW next to me, and she kept the battery on the jumper cables, you know. She helps run an auto repair shop, so she knows.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that is awesome.
She knows a few things, but it was like right before it was my turn to go up, pulled the jumper cables off, gave her a kiss on the cheek, and I'm gonna go win this for you, sweetheart. And I was the second to last guy. And what was interesting was there was, I think, 20 people, and 3 of them didn't show, and I went second to last. But another guy, he's got a Challenger with a Hemi, and he did a burnout. It was really good, and he got a perfect score from the judges. So I went out there, and I figured the best I could do was tie. So I went out there, and I did the show, and then it was all done. I'm back in the pits, and some kid comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, you won." And I'm like, "I can't win." He's like, "The best I can do is tie." And he's like, "No, you got," I think the high score was like 50 or 60 points. I got like 300 points because a couple of the judges added zeros to their 10. You know, like, they want to give me a 10. A couple of the judges added a 0. But that was against the rules, so they made us have, like, you know, crowd approval. So me and that guy went out there, and the crowd cheered, and whenever he pointed to me, everybody was cheering.
Oh,
so.
that is so much fun.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it again, though, because I kind of like brought a gun to a knife fight. You know, it was like the guy who went after me, I feel bad for him. I don't think anybody was watching him, you know. So I'll just go back to doing demonstrations. I'm not going to do any more.
Now, Chris, if you look
contests.
at your Facebook page, either, I think you could just go to Chris Krug and see it, but you may have another Facebook page for that. That picture that's on there, is that a view of the burnout contest? Because you got smoke everywhere.
Yeah, that was, I used the red tire on the left side. I have white smoke coming out of the afterburn. I used the blue tire on the right side. And that was a little expensive, blowing up that kind of money in tires, but
I don't think you got lost all the tire, because I think some of it's still on the side of the van.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tell you, getting the dye off, the red tire dye, it took me a while to get that off.
Yeah.
But hey, it made for some great pictures, you know, and the crowd went crazy.
Oh, man, I would have loved to have been there. I was out of town that week when they had that. Let's go to a caller. How's that? We had a caller that. Welcome to the C&C Auto Show, and what can we help you with?
Oh, I'd simply like to know where this show is.
Okay, that's a great question. This show is in Augusta, Georgia. And what I mentioned is at the Judicial Center downtown. Now, the main thing, this show plays in a lot of other areas. Some people may be listening on Facebook or YouTube or something like that. So if you're not able to come see this show live, I encourage you to go just Google Coffee and Cars, because they have events all over the country to where people just come out, talk about cars, and have fun. If you're near this one, come on.
Yeah, the Judicial Center here on the downtown Augusta.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put like that
Yeah,
Augusta
I'm,
Judicial Center in Google and you'll find it.
Exactly. Great question, and thank you. Okay, and that was a good question because I might not have even, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but yeah, Judicial Center, Augusta, Georgia. Come on down. If you can't come here, go to a Coffee or Cars event near you, and also watch this one on Facebook and get a chance to, or YouTube, and also get a chance to get updated on what Chris has been up to. That has been so great.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is Krug Tech. It's just for fun. I don't monetize it or anything like that. But you guys go on there and get a good picture of all the things that I do.
Chris, I know I've mentioned this before, but we have had some really good times. I remember one time I measured the flame coming out the back of that, and it burnt my tape measure all up. I remember the two of us rode in the van one time. Man, that was a blast. I loved it. It was fantastic. I remember you got a ticket down the road from us one time, and
yeah.
For I don't know if they have a law against lighting up a jet engine on the road, but
yeah, I had one. I was coming home from Jackson one night, and somebody oiled the track, and I had a load of fuel in there, so I was hitting the afterburner on Atomic Road, and everything was cool. And then when I got into Beach Island,
stations,
the guy, a cop lit me up, and he had a lot of interesting questions.
That is awesome. Man, we sure appreciate you being here. And is there a chance that you might be lighting it up today for us?
Absolutely. Can't let all these people down.
Oh, that's going to be a lot lot
Yeah,
hey,
got
some of them
diesel
don't yet
on the
know
way.
what they're. Some of them don't know what they're going to get yet either.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that's always puts
Good.
a smile on people's faces.
Well-
I never get tired of it.
Well, thank you for being here, and we'll be talking to you again some more during the event.
Sounds good, man.
All right.
Thanks
Appreciate
guys
it,
for having
Chris.
me on.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back with more of the C&C Auto Show. The Judicial Center will be going on till about 11 this morning, and cars are everywhere. We got all types of cars. We got Mustangs, Cadillacs, Corvettes, Camaros, El Caminos, Volkswagens. It's just a mix, Corvettes. It's just a mixture of all type of cars, and one that kind of caught my eye here that I thought looked kind of good. I asked him if he would pull it around. AJ Santiago has a, let's see here. I'm gonna let him tell you what this, it is. I do know it's beautiful. It sounds good and looks good, but tell us about this car, AJ.
Hi there. It is a Factory 5 1935 Ford truck, and I built it in an unconventional way. Like, it has a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder EcoBoost, 6-speed manual, AC heat, tilting bed so you can work on the back. It looks like a California style hot rod, but really it's like a race car in disguise.
Yeah. AJ, some of the things that I like about it is to start with, it sounds very nice and smooth. I mean, the engine just sits there and purrs, but also it looks like you have some modifications like an electronic dash, and an LCD dash, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And it just looks very comfortable. And you said it did have AC, heat, and a 6-speed transmission.
Yeah.
I love manual transmissions, and that's I know that would enjoy it. But everything just looks so neat on the vehicle. It's laid out in such a beautiful way.
Yep. Looks like you got the alloy radiator, electric cooling fans, and then you got another cooler down here.
Yes,
What's this
we
one
got
for?
an engine oil cooler on the
Okay,
side,
good.
and the piece next to it is an electric power steering.
And it looks like there was a little engineering involved on making that steering shaft work there.
Yeah, with the electric power steering, it takes a little bit of tinkering to get it right.
So this vehicle does have electronic power steering.
Yeah, so that, like, from a sandrail,
Uh-huh.
that they have those kits off of eBay.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So when you say Factory 5, that's the supplier of the vehicle in a kit for them?
Yes, so you get as much as you want out of the kit. Like, you can buy everything, and they can supply you, somebody else supplies you an engine and rear end and transmission. I bought it a little more bare bones. because they don't support other, small block Ford, Chevy, Coyote, LS kind of thing.
Right, because you've obviously got not only a radiator that custom fits right into that nose piece, that trim piece, but the condenser's got to be tucked right in there, right in front of it too.
Yes.
So that's all comes from
Factory 5. They supply that. What I did different here is obviously I had to do my own engine mounts, my own drive shaft, air to water intercooler, because you can't fit a big front mount intercooler like on a typical turbo application.
AJ, how much time do you have invested in working on this vehicle and building it to where it is?
This was a pandemic special. I had ordered the kit and I got it in September, and then I built it over the pandemic. So it took me like 8 months.
That's all?
Yeah. So it's
whoa.
Yeah, because we can go anywhere. Working on the weekends and nights.
Yeah.
So that's why it took so little time to get it built.
I know you got to be really proud of that.
Yeah.
Though. Building it with your own hands and doing all the things that you're doing. And really, I love the paint scheme on there, because I mean, I realize that you could have went in there and made it, that part of it as pretty as you wanted to, but I like that.
Yeah,
because,
I like the rat rod look.
I do too.
It kind of makes it look like it's steel.
Well, that was a mixture of rat rod and late model, and like you mentioned, California rod. It's just everything together. Just it's like a work of art. It makes you just look at it and kind of think about different things as far as abstract type, because you've got so many things going on there. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just
you want to take
nice
a peek
looking.
under there?
Yes, love to.
I see you got the ported disc brake.
Yeah, so it's
the discs themselves and the Ford calipers in there.
Yeah, so it is.
So it's all Ford.
It's all Ford. So the rear's an 07 Mustang rear end with the brakes, and the front is 94 Cobra brakes.
So
and of course, I'll
you don't
mention
have to
to those
specify
that are watching the show, underneath this panel
That's optional.
is
you
as
can put
clean
whatever
and beautiful as the
rear end
rest of the vehicle. We have the gas tank over here, just a spotless rear end, a cooler over here, just a beautiful vehicle. AJ, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Again, a
I
blend of the old and the
love it.
A real blend of the old and the new. So
yes,
3-point shoulder, seatbelt restraints, and so forth. So, and on a day like today, as he mentioned, air conditioning.
So AJ, you could actually take this on a good trip.
I did the one leg of Power Tour, the Atlanta to Columbia, and I've been to the Caffeine and Octane in Atlanta. And,
really?
And the Union, South Carolina, the Steel in Motion, I did that one too. So yeah, I've been in it like 3 hours.
And you don't have to worry about having any issues on the road.
Yep.
Everything is just
the next
set
upgrade
so
is
nicely.
run flats, just in case, because I don't carry a spare.
Okay.
Well, AJ, thank you. We appreciate you sharing that with us.
It's a treat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, again, we're here at the Coffee and Cars event here downtown Augusta. If you have a Coffee and Cars event near you, I encourage you to go to it, because you'll have a lot of fun. We have people just like AJ right here with this beautiful vehicle that come out, opportunity to talk to them about the vehicle and gain information about how long it took to build, and especially if you have any intention on either restoring a vehicle, buying a vehicle already restored, and you're thinking about, well, where do I get it worked on? Where do I get insurance? What's the best model to buy? These people love to share information with you because they love cars, and they love to help other people who are thinking about restoring cars. So if you have any intention of that, then you definitely need to be here, because it will save you a lot of time and a huge amount of money.
Well, and the thing is, if you don't even know maybe what you want to do, you haven't chosen the road or the path you're going to take.
Yep.
A show like this, everything's here. I just saw a 62 or so Buick Invicta go by that looks like it was original. So if you're looking to go back that way.
Yeah.
But these kit cars are remarkable, because it sounds like you just order what you want, whatever amount you want, sort of like a cafeteria line, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he goes and picks out what engine he wants and figures out all the bracketry, and off he goes. 8 months. That's not a lot of time for a guy working on his weekends and nights.
8 months. I was thinking he was going to say like 3 years or 4 years.
Because
or
that
something
COVID
like that.
nonsense went on for a couple of years, but he did it in 8 months.
Yeah, he did. So and I love that. And I think that's one of the big things that people may be able to find out. If you walk around and look at some of these vehicles, you can talk to them and say, well, how long does it take to do something like this? And you can make, as you're making a decision on the vehicle, you want to decide, well, where would I do this at? Do I have a garage that I can pull it in and work on this? Am I going to be able to have the garage to be able to use this?
Yeah, you got to get some clearance
You got
for
to
that
get
landing at home,
many
don't
times
you?
to do that. And many times you might be really good with doing body work, but terrible with mechanical type work. So you would need to get a connection with somebody that does your mechanical work, or vice versa. You may be great with mechanical, but terrible with body work. So you would want to find a person who does this type body work that has worked with other car owners and don't mind it taking a little bit longer than your average car, and assuming that you're looking for perfection. But you can get all that information when you come here. Oh, we have some motorcycles coming here. Look at that.
Two-wheelers.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Coffee and Cars. You see everything. You see some motorcycles over here. And like I mentioned, we got Corvettes. I even have my little scooter, my little Go-Trax over here that I ride.
We're not going to showcase that, are we?
No, I don't think we
Okay.
should.
All right.
I don't think it would be any good to pull it over here and crank it up.
But something you mentioned before in this gentleman's car, the digital gauges. Another thing that's interesting about what's available today for the folks with older cars, you can get these retrofitted, designed electronic components that go right into the dashboard of these trucks and older cars. Looks good, programmable, plug and play, and that's good for the folks with the engine
Jerry.
changes.
Jerry. He didn't see me.
Yeah.
He was with us. And you're right. There's so many options available now, and you can find out about a lot of those things at places like this. But just about anything like that is available. If you look through the books, you can put electronic dash on one, or have and it'll look or retro looking dash. Okay, we're gonna be right back with more of the C&C Auto Show.
Yep.
To change the water pump, the thermostat, and the serpentine belt. And his question was, with all the types of antifreeze that are on the shelf when he goes to the parts house, which type antifreeze should he get for that vehicle? And I'll mention in advance, Evan, that I'm very picky about the parts that I use on a vehicle. And because of that, I like the Peak antifreeze because it's compatible to all makes and all models, and it's just formulated to work with all of them. And because of it, I know that I'm covered. I know that I have good antifreeze in there. Now, of course, I mentioned that I'm very picky on the parts that I use, so you didn't ask this question, but I'll go ahead and mention it anyway. I would recommend going ahead and using a motor rad thermostat and a Gates serpentine belt. And also, while you're in there, if that tensioner or that belt tensioner hadn't been changed in a long time, I'd go ahead and put a Gates belt tensioner on there also, because they do go bad over time. So I hope that answered the question. And we have Jim up here talking to somebody. Jim, flag down. I'm not sure if that one's coming through. Yeah, I think that James is over here talking to a gentleman that with an absolutely beautiful Buick GS. Oh, it looks so good, and it does have a manual transmission and 4-speed manual transmission. He's got some beautiful gauges on the inside. Just beautiful vehicle.
Yep, factory has even got the coveted Super Sport style factory steering wheel.
Did he say what year model that was?
69.
60. That's what I was
69.
thinking.
And it's a Grand Sport factory functional Ram Air, correct? That's right. Not just for looks. It looks great, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Listen. Don't that sound good? I love it.
That's how it's supposed to sound.
Yeah,
Just
it
like
is.
that.
Yeah, that does have a nice sound. We got a Camaro, late model Camaro going by. That's beautiful. Looking around in the parking lot, what's some of the vehicles that you see, Jim?
All right, now for starters, if we just turn around, I know we didn't put our back to the camera, folks. It's not nice, but this way we can look. There's just a row of Mustangs right here. Mustangs are very popular here today. All different years, all different styles, stock, custom. And if you look over to the left, you'll see some of these smaller cars. I can't tell what make they are, but they're the import vehicles that the guys really seem to lower them, customize them, custom cooling. And in front of this one blue car over here on the left, you can see the size of that alloy radiator in front of it. But then you've got a little collection of Beetles. The one that was over here before has gone and joined his brother or sister Beetle over here. Older Volkswagens, which I want to go visit that because that was my first car, was a 58 where you had heat only if you crawled underneath the car and manually tied open the heater boxes. And you always prayed for a sound exhaust system so you didn't give yourself too much carbon monoxide. But the pickup trucks are over here, square bodies.
I see a lot of Corvettes sprinkled around here also, Jim.
Yep. Well, there's two right here, right next to the Camaro, and you've got 54, 55 Chevy next to a new Camaro. So it's just, there's no real
a mixture of all types of cars.
Yeah.
One thing everybody got in common. I do see one thing, my friend Richard, there's a chance that he might be pulling out one of the, well, as far as I know, the smallest jet-powered motorcycle. And he has it right over here. And he's evidently going to be setting it up for us.
I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, I have seen it.
He's a lot bigger than his motorcycle.
Yeah, but it is a lot of fun to watch. Beautiful piece of equipment. And there is no doubt he must be planning on firing up the jet engine on that because he's got a gas can.
Custom fuel.
Yeah, it's got to be custom fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, he's smiling. He knows.
Yeah, some beautiful equipment
There's
there.
An Indy pace car Camaro, older style going by.
Want to mention also that if our piece of equipment will stay here, we still are answering automotive questions. If you have a question about your car, your truck, your SUV, you give us a call, and the number is 800-224-9090. We got all excited during this first hour, and we did not throw the Tech Tip quiz out. We will have a Tech Tip quiz coming up during the next hour, and also another great surprise coming up through the next hour. I plan to talk my friend Chris Krug into firing up his jet-powered minivan.
Maybe we'll barbecue one of these trees or something.
And the jet-powered motorcycle. I'm hoping that they're going to fire it up while we're still on the air, because those are a lot of fun. Now, the only thing is we probably will not be able to hear very well with those running.
Yeah, we might have something to say, but you won't know what it is.
Yeah, you won't know what it is. So
I
be
think
ready.
The last time it happened, there was just a bunch of ooh and an on going on anyway. So
Yeah. Maybe we'll be able to find a quiet or at least an area to where we can still talk. Hey guys, come over here for just a minute. Yeah. So y'all come out to Coffee and Cars. All right. What's your favorite one out here?
I'm about to go with mine, you know. That's it.
Yours? What type vehicle do you have?
2014 Ford Mustang.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes,
What color is it?
Gray.
Oh, man. That is awesome.
Yes, sir.
Really good. How about all you? What's your favorite cars?
Gotta go with mine.
Got it. What is yours?
That red Lexus right there.
Red Lexus. Beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic. How about you?
That ZL1 right there.
Oh, man. That's your favorite one? I love that. That is really nice. How about you?
I got to go with my car, too. It's an Audi. Audi
Yeah?
A4. Yes, sir.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Yep.
Absolutely
I'd say
beautiful.
so. I think so.
What made y'all decide to come out to Coffee and Cars this morning?
Who wouldn't
Just
want to see some cars?
Want to talk car, and that is exactly what I've been talking about. that people that love cars, of course, you want to drink a little coffee at the same time. I don't see you with your coffee yet.
Monster instead.
Yeah.
Energy drink.
Monster drink instead.
Monster
There you go.
cars.
That's the new coffee, right? All right, but I'm glad y'all having a good time, and I appreciate you coming by and talking with us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great time.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, there's some great stuff, and that's exactly what we see that everybody has in common is that those that come out here, they absolutely love cars, and they love talking about cars, seeing different cars. A Ford Falcon over there, that is you don't see those very often at all.
Yep.
And just a lot of good times. So we're gonna be back soon, very shortly.
Haven't had enough of us yet.
Yeah, you hadn't had enough of it. Yeah, we're gonna be back with more of the C&C Auto Show, and again during the next hour we're gonna be tossing out a tech tip quiz. We are also gonna talk Chris Krug into firing up that beautiful van that he has there. Do some fun stuff. So the time clock is on E for this one, so we need to pull over and put some fuel in this bad boy, and we'll be back on the road within a second or
Yep.
so. No,
All we got to do is
might
keep
be a little bit
it in
longer
between the ditches.
I'm Aaron Clements here with Jim
I have
Pate,
some great news. Bose
co-host
Machine
Jim
Shop
Pate,
has moved. They
and
still have the
also
same
Mason
friendly
Rogers,
people,
our
but they
producer,
have added
co-producer
some. The
Jay.
building is
We'll be
larger,
right back
and there's even more
with
equipment,
more of the
all to
C&C Auto
better
Show.
serve you.
And we do welcome you back to the C&C Auto Show. We are here at the Coffee and Cars event in Augusta, Georgia. I'm here with co-host Jim Pate.
Good. Hey there.
And we also have a very special guest, Chris Krug, here with us.
Morning.
And we got a very nice piece of equipment sitting next to us. We have Chris Krug's jet-powered minivan right next to us.
Yeah, we'll be firing that thing up in a little while.
And we have the jet engines hanging out of the back, and the LED lights are kind of flashing against the engines there. The side doors open. You can see the engine to a degree right there. Lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, Richard's been working real hard on the LED lights with the programming. Right before the burnout contest, I bumped the thing up to about 600 watts at all total LEDs. But every LED on that thing, we can make it one of like 16 million colors, like 30 times a second.
Oh.
So I wired it up and make sure it don't catch on fire and whatnot, and then I give it to Richard to code it, and he just sit there and his eyes glass over, and all of a sudden the thing he'll be there messing with the digits, and the thing would just start lighting up. We had the whole front of his house lit up one night.
Since when are you afraid of a little fire?
As long as it's intentional. It's the unintentional fire that worries me.
That don't happen real often, but it's exciting when it does.
Nah, I mean, once in a while, the tail light will smolder a little bit, or and it burn the license plate light a little bit, but fire usually goes out right away when I get it.
If it gets out of hand, you can have that little snowstorm that can generate out of that red can.
Yeah, make a mess at the fire extinguisher.
That's right.
Now, Chris, one of the things that you mentioned that you were going to be doing this afternoon, actually in less than an hour, you're going to be firing it up for us?
Oh, absolutely. It's 4th of July weekend. We got a great crowd here. I think we get the weekend started off with a bang. What do you say?
Marshmallows, hot dogs, put them right out the back of it.
Oh, that's a great idea. We'll go get some
Cook 'em
marshmallows.
fast.
Yeah,
we'll have some fun.
You're not afraid to stand behind it, so you can roast the marshmallows.
I'll stand back there. I'm good with that. Yeah, that makes it even more exciting. And you mentioned that you recently returned from Chattanooga, right?
Yeah, I was up in Chattanooga. I told you guys a while back I started with a company called TCI Cutting. And I've been in the laser industry for over 3 decades, and what was on the market just really wasn't that appealing to me and my customers. But this company is based in Spain, and the difference is these guys are all engineers. It's like the machine I installed, one of the project managers actually came out in the field to check the installation. That's how intimate these people are with the customers. They're kind of like me and you. We're both techno geeks.
Yep.
We just love the whirring gears and the blinking lights and all that stuff. And I'm really excited about TCI, and my customers are excited. We've been waiting for a piece of equipment like this, something that's just simple, well built like a truck, and you can work on it like a truck. You can just keep repairing it. We don't put a lot of custom parts in it. We try to use as many standard parts as we can. You know, laser's complicated enough as it is. By using all the standard parts and whatnot, it makes it a lot easier for the customer to keep it running. He can get service from us, or he can get service from the people who make the parts for us.
Yeah. And Chris, that's what I enjoy about talking with you. I know you could go into all this detail on how how it works and what and the temperatures and a lot of other details there, but you kind of keep it to where we can we're able to talk about it and enjoy talking about it because we're not going too deep into it.
Well, you know, one of my jobs is I have to translate this laser technology to my customers. So I've had technicians, they try to impress the customers, and me, I want to relate to the customer. So talking about the lasers, I just compare it to things on the car. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. A lot of systems that. On that note, it's a computer-controlled piece of equipment, and that's basically what cars are nowadays. It's computers are everywhere, controlling everything.
Yes. All right, we're going to talk to Richard next.
Yeah.
So I was going to get you to swap over with Richard.
Yeah, he's got the little jet bike here today.
Exactly. We're going to tell him about. We're going to talk about some that he'll be doing, and both of you, we're going to be seeing both of you light these up.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited. Here you go,
all right. While Richard is getting ready, and when I say Richard is the gentleman with the jet-powered mini motorcycle, the smallest one that I know of, probably the smallest one in the world. I'm going to be throwing out a tech tip quiz, and of course the winner will win a prize package, which includes a C&C Auto shirt. Sometimes Mason has been known, our producer Mason has been known to toss a little coffee mug in there.
All depends on how he feels. That's right.
Exactly. When he's packing the box, it depends on how he feels. But also some other little prizes in there with it. Okay, here is the tech tip quiz. George was at a coffee event with his 76 Continental. At the event, he announced that he would pay any person over 16 $6.25 to jump behind the wheel of the Continental. It was only a little over $6, but a lot of people took him up on the offer. Why did he pay over $6 to jump in? And if you know the answer to today's Tech Tip quiz, you give us a call, and the number is 800-224-9090. And don't wait for someone else to take your prize. Go ahead and call in and claim it for yourself because you know you want it.
Call with your nerves of steel in place.
Exactly. Richard, how are we doing?
Doing well. How you doing, Aaron?
Oh, doing great. Man, I always enjoy seeing you with your jet-powered mini motorcycle.
Mini motorcycle.
Now, in my opinion, that is the smallest one in the world. Do you think that's accurate?
I think that's accurate. We're looking to petition Guinness coming up soon, so we're going to make that official and get it on paper. That's where it counts.
Yeah. Now, and you actually ride that vehicle?
Yes, sir. I ride that vehicle. It dumped me earlier this year, but my foot's gotten a little better since then, so I think I'm going to take it out for a ride again today.
Oh, that would be so awesome to do that. Now, I know that you and Chris worked together on this a little bit. What inspired you to put a jet engine on a motorcycle?
So Chris got his hands on this little tiny jet engine. It's a Ren MW54. It makes about 8 horsepower. First thing he did is he decided he was going to stick it on the back of a scooter and make a little power there. But he ended up finding this cool frame on eBay. Decided, this is a perfect size for this motor. So he shoved it in there. Me and him have worked on a little since then, a little code, a little wrench turning, but it's been running pretty sweet. We like it. It's a fun project.
Mm-hmm. Well, every time you've been to an event, I've never seen you really had an issue with the engine itself. It seems like it's always fired up. It's always ran. Always did what it was supposed to do.
A few years back, we had a few problems with getting the motor to start over. We did a little work on it. We refreshed it. We tore the whole thing down. Man, Aaron, I got to show you some pictures of that. You'd love it. But we tore that thing down. We remachined it out, put everything back together, and it's been running like a beauty ever since.
How many RPMs does that engine turn?
That engine at max will turn about 150,000 RPM.
Whoa!
Needs to be balanced.
Wow.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
How often does that engine, or after how many hours does that engine have to be rebuilt?
You get about 20 hours on those bearings, and then you need to pull them out and replace all the bearings, go through it, look for discoloration, cracking, anything like that in the motor.
And do you do that?
I did that, yes, sir.
Oh,
Me
wow.
and Chris. I'm not going to take all the credit. Chris helped a lot with that.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a very tedious job, from what I understand, to go in and do those.
It's a lot of fun. You know, it's my first time ever doing a balancing job like that. It is very, very tedious. It's a lot of watching numbers and seeing what the vibration's doing and stuff like that. But, you know, it's fun. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience to get to balance something that's, you know, that's sensitive.
I had no idea that it went to, did you say 150?
You could push it to 150. I think it likes to sit a little lower than that. Maybe 130, 140 is where it's really happy. You could probably push it to 150.
Still a pretty big number, isn't it?
Yeah. It's,
Yeah. That is amazing. What type fuel do you put in there?
So it'll burn kerosene. It's a little happier on Jet A if you can get it from the airports. But yeah, we burn a little kerosene, mix it with a little turbine oil.
Well, now, when you go for the jet fuel, do you have to ask real nicely, or is it just
extremely nicely?
So it's not willingly distributed.
Providing as few details as possible when you go in. That's the secret.
And don't bring too big a can, I guess.
Yeah.
I need some jet fuel for my motorcycle. Yeah, that wouldn't go over.
No. They don't like to see them running out on the open road and stuff like that. That causes them problems.
Richard, we look forward to you firing that up soon, and I sure appreciate you being here. Lots of fun.
Yep.
And we'll be back with more of the C&C Auto Show. Coffee and Cars event here in Augusta, Georgia. We're at the Judicial Center over here, and we are having a great time. We have talked to Chris Krug. We talked to Richard over there with the jet-powered mini motorcycle. We have cars all around us.
We got our head on swivels, man, and just looking all over.
Yeah, there's 55 Chevys, Corvettes, Camaros. We have a tech tip quiz laying on the table. If you know the answer to our tech tip quiz, give us a call, and that number is 800-224-9090. Or if you have a question about your car, your truck, your SUV, you give us a call. And again, 800-224-9090. Absolutely beautiful day, and we have talked to different people with different types of cars. And if you look down the line there's just so many different vehicles. And want to encourage everyone, if you have a love for cars and you want to, whatever area that you're in, don't hesitate to visit a Coffee and Cars or a car show that's nearby, and get to know some of those people that work with those, because you'll learn so much. And if you plan to restore a car or do something with a vehicle, don't hesitate to come in and talk to people. Okay, just like Jim's going to do. He has this gentleman here with an absolutely beautiful Mustang.
Yep, you hopefully can see it through the table there. Just tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you're driving.
Hey guys, my name is Manny Falcon. I live in Athens, Georgia. I got a 2020 Shelby GT500.
What do you like about it?
Oh, the power. It's got 760 horse. And,
just in case?
Just in case you need it. It'll get up and go. It's rowdy.
You got somebody with you. It looks like you got a car full. Yeah. Who's in the back? Yeah, he sees the mini motorcycle. We're all going to see that in a minute.
Jim, let me ask the question here. Manny,
yes, sir.
Manny, many years ago, I don't know exactly when, but we had a drone race.
Yes, sir. The first drone race in Augusta.
Yeah, the first drone race in Augusta, Georgia. Manny won, and you got a trophy for that.
I still got that trophy. It's in my son's room.
I tell you, that was one of the wildest things I've seen.
Yeah.
They were just lined up in chairs across an area, and all had goggles on. And these things were just, crazy going around the track.
Yes, sir. We had a good time that day, for sure.
Yeah. And, man, that is an absolutely beautiful vehicle you have there.
Thank you.
And it's the right color.
It is.
Race red.
Red. Because you see,
298 race reds were made in 2020 of the Shelby GT500.
So why, gosh, that surprises me. I would think that would be right up there.
Yeah.
How much horsepower does that vehicle have?
760. Yeah, and it might have a little more. It's been a little modified.
Yeah. Something happened?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, and it's in beautiful shape. You're keeping it well.
Yes, sir.
And it's good that you had company today.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, go find your
friends.
Manny, I'm hoping that one of the modifications is a radar detector.
Oh, you know it. That's a must. I already got one right here.
Well, go find your favorite shady spot. Thanks for stopping.
Hey,
good seeing y'all. Thank you.
Good to see you, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go. You stick around here long enough, you'll just see anybody. Is that it? Like Times Square?
Yeah, you will. Yeah, he that was an amazing time. He is.
See his license plate?
Oh,
Lotsa HP. LOTSA HP.
Yeah. Hey, let's get these people over here. Come over here for just a minute. Hey, what, you two enjoy walking around looking at the cars?
Yes.
All right. What's your favorite one?
Okay. Do you know yet?
No.
You're not sure which one?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, come here. You enjoy walking around coffee and cars?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite car?
Ooh, probably the C&C Auto Show.
Oh, really?
I'm a fan of that one. Yeah.
Hey. Is this your first coffee and cars event, or you been to them before?
Yeah, I've been doing it before. I just haven't been in a while.
Ah. Well, you having a good time?
Yes, I am.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I appreciate that very much. All of you have a fantastic time, and good to talk to you, too.
Oh, yeah. And
hold on.
Also, the Bertone in there. That was really cool.
Oh, yeah. There are some beautiful cars here. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate y'all joining us. All righty. All right. Yeah, everybody's having a fantastic time. They have they don't have this all the time, but they do have a food truck over there that's selling coffee.
It's about time, right?
Hey,
Coffee
let me
and cars.
find out. I'm gonna grade the coffee here because I did get a cup from them over there, and let me try it out, and I'll let you know how this goes.
I think it's about.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it's good coffee.
So when do we see some jets going? Jet
That's
engines?
going. They will be firing the jets up. I would say in about 15, 20 minutes or so.
We just got the thumbs up from the engineers over there.
Yeah, they're going to be ready. That's going to be an awesome thing. Now the biggest thing is during the radio show is mostly going to consist of a lot of noise when they fire the jet engine up.
If that's what you like, you're going to have more than enough.
Yeah, you will have plenty of noise.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful sound. I worked on F4 fighter jets for 4 years, and I was very used to those jet engines. As a matter of fact, I heard them more than I should have, and which is not good.
In other words, you didn't have the filtering devices on your head.
Not like I should have. At the time, we had to do whatever we had to do to get it in the air, so that was I did not do that as often as I should have.
Well, but that same goal happens every day at the shop. Got to get them all out.
Yep, exactly. Oh, we got the motorcycles to crank it up. Hey, let me show him here.
He's going to try to talk to him now. Let's see what happens.
What type bike do you have there?
It's a KTM 890 Duke R.
Oh, wow. That is absolutely beautiful. How fast have you had it up to?
140. I just bought it last night.
Are you telling me you have had this up to 140?
Yeah.
And you just got it last night? Oh, that is wow. That is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful bike. Thank you for parking it here and giving us the opportunity to look at it through there.
Be careful.
Thank you. Listen to that. I don't think I would be going the 140.
Not on my first day, at least.
Yeah, not on my first day.
But who knows what he's been driving since then? He's been riding maybe forever, and that's just the latest ride.
That is true. Okay, we're gonna have to pull over for just a minute or two, but we will be back on the road very, very shortly. So hold tight, and we probably about 15 minutes away of seeing the jet-powered minivan fire up.
Got that tech tip quiz waiting for everybody.
Yeah, we
too.
do have a tech tip quiz. We will be right back after this. Different cars there, from Corvettes to classics to motorcycles to just about anything.
Doesn't matter the month, time of year, the weather, it's always crowded.
Yeah, they have just about anything. I want to mention one real quick. Chad had a question, and he wanted to know why he has to replace the battery in his motorcycle every year. The one they don't drive, actually a dirt bike. And the reason this one come to mind is I'm going dirt bike riding this afternoon. Not too long after this event, I'll be on a dirt bike. I have a 450 YZZX 450, and I love riding that bike. It's a monster, though. It is a monster. But anyway, he says he has to replace his battery every year. And I'll mention, Chad, you can do what I did. When a battery's not used for a long time, it loses power. And a weak battery that is just sitting there not being used sulfates really quickly, and it's just going to go bad. You're going to have to replace it. So I would recommend replacing your battery with an AGM battery from Clarios, and then use a battery maintainer.
Yes.
Much like a battery charger that would go on a cell phone. It gives it what it needs over a period of time. You don't have to unhook it, hook it back up, cut it back on, cut it back off. It will just keep the battery maintained over a period of time. And then two things will happen after that, though. One is you won't have to buy batteries every year. That part's good. And then that bike will be like Delta and ready when you are.
And I think, isn't it true, Aaron, that when a battery goes dead, you've let it go all the way down, that it never really recovers from that?
That's been my experience. Now, I don't know the technical side of it, but here that brings up another great point. If someone wants to know a lot more about batteries and how batteries work, they can go to autobatteries.com. Yeah, that autobatteries.com, it'll answer questions like that. I do know that's been my experience, though, is once it's been completely dead and it's set for any amount of time after that, that battery, I don't trust it anymore. And I can tell you that if you're on an ATV or a motorcycle and you way out on a trail and you cut it off to go look at a beautiful lake or a beautiful creek or something like that beside you, and you get back in it and it don't crank, many times you don't have any cell phone reception. You can't push the doggone thing out of it. I can't push my motorcycle.
You're going to be testing out those comfortable shoes.
Yeah, and my bike, even though it's a dirt bike, it has no Kickstarter. So unless I have a battery to spin that thing over and fire it up, I am stuck. I mean, stuck.
Sounds like the buddy system needs to be played out.
Well, I can tell you that a battery is big time important. You ready to go to the calls?
Let's take it in.
All right, let's do it. Welcome to the C&C Auto Show, and what can we help you with today?
Hey, how you doing? This is Jeff. Just wanted to call and say we're enjoying your show today.
Thank you, Jeff.
Where are you?
It.
We are actually just got off the lake. We took my son, my daughter-in-law. We went up on the lake and rode the boat around. Now we're heading back home.
And I bet you got a battery tender on that boat battery, don't you?
I got a battery tender on the boat battery, on everything phone, and I carry a little portable battery jump box, a little small one, very powerful. We haven't needed it, but
so that's right. You've got that real little guy.
I wish I would. I got that little there. Very powerful. Truck.
So let me get all this right now. We're sitting here. We're with the Coffee and Cars event. Loud engines firing up everywhere. Motorcycles sitting over here. I don't know where that one is, but it's pretty loud. And are you still on the lake with the boat, or you're already back from the lake?
We just loaded the boat back on the trailer. When we called you, we were sitting in the boat, but we've been on hold, been waiting for a commercial to end. So we loaded up and we're getting ready to go home now. It's about an hour drive back to the house. So we came here early this morning when nobody else was on the water.
Yeah, I bet that was beautiful.
They say the early bird catches the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese or something. So
yeah, something like that.
You might have been the second mouse today. So you're going to go spend the rest of the time putting that boat away, getting it ready for, I guess, the main event next month or something.
That's right. We're going to go to Deep Creek. But today my daughter and her two boys are coming up, so we're going to have a little weekend with the grandchildren. We've got a full week.
Well,
do you have an answer?
Say hi to you.
Do you have an answer to our tech tip quiz?
Question? I couldn't hear it on the lake. What is the
You have to
question?
read it again.
I'm gonna read it to you because you are always very good at answering a good tech tip quiz.
I don't know this.
All right, here we go. George was at a coffee event with his 76 Continental. At the event, he announced that he would pay any person over 16 $6.25 to jump behind the wheel of the Continental. and it was only a little over $6, but a lot of people took him up on the deal. Why did he pay over $6 to jump in, and what is the answer? Jeff, hold on. We need to put you on stage. We need to put you on stage.
I think Blue must be on holiday.
Hey,
put on stage.
Father, I have no idea what the answer.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
You're going to get it anyway.
Yeah. Okay, Jeff, you're on stage, and what is the answer to today's Dead Deb quiz?
Man, I don't have blue.
Well,
I got to think about that.
It's a 76 Continental. Yeah. 76.
76 Continental. Well, I got a 76 Twin Continental.
Well, I mean, of course, is this July 4th weekend or something like that? Yeah,
getting close.
Wow, 76 Continental.
Okay, so my 76 Continental was a bicentennial year. It was a parade vehicle. It was a special edition bicentennial.
You're getting pretty close. Jeff, I'm going to give you the opportunity to call back. We're getting short, though, because Chris is going to be firing up his machine, but I'm going to mention to you before we go. But first, we got to give you the R button. Oh, no! But then after that, I'm going to mention to you, Jeff, I never did say it was a vehicle. And we'll be right back after this.
We're about to put the cherry on top.
We are. The cherry is getting ready to go on top. Because we have Chris Krug here, and Chris is sitting in this van. Now, if you were around here and you were to see, and he's getting his picture taken, so that's fantastic. And if you were here, you would see a normal-looking minivan. It does have a few decals on it, on there. But the thing is, it looks a lot like just a normal minivan, other than those. But when we give the thumbs up to Chris, and here we go, boom! Look what happens. And I'm gonna describe this as it happens. The back window is folding down. The jet engine is pushing out the back. The side door opens. And it sounds like the jet engine is starting to fire off. It is. We have some smoke coming out the back. The engine is running. Oh, that is a beautiful thing. Look at that. Crowd, everybody's standing around taking pictures. A lot of people's having to hold their ears because this thing is pretty loud. It is the jet engine. Beautiful piece of it. The engine's running. And that is a minivan that is making that noise. For those just listening, that's not an airplane. That's not a jet airplane. That is a minivan. And Chris is going to pull up a little bit because he wants to light the... Chris is planning to light the afterburner on the van. And when he does that, there's going to be a lot of fire coming out the back of the van. Oh, and smoke is pouring out the back of the van right now. In the afterburner zone, fire is coming out the back. Huge amounts of fire. Wow. What would you say, Jim, about how far is that fire coming out? 10 foot?
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them. Roughly about 10 feet. Smoke going up. Flames popping out. And just 2 or 3 minutes ago, that looked like a normal minivan sitting there.
Don't want to be tailgating that one.
Yeah. What was a normal minivan now is a jet with smoke just bellowing out the back.
The number of people have been waiting for this. As soon
Yeah.
as you move that van.
Okay. Now, we're going to focus on Richard. Richard has his jet-powered motorcycle, and he's planning to fire it up very. He's getting everything ready. He's getting everything ready. And Richard is getting a few things. He's still got a little ways to go before he's going to be getting fired up. And Chris pulled around. Chris, come on over. Chris, that was beautiful.
You liked
I
it,
loved
huh?
it, man. I loved it.
You know, I tell you what, I've been doing this for 15 years. With that thing, and I still get a kick. It still gets my heart racing.
Every time I watch it, I still get the same thrill of watching that.
The way it surges and the rumbling and whatnot.
And I know you don't always get to see it from the back because you're inside. But I'm gonna tell you, it is a beautiful sight.
Well, Richard promised me he's going to learn how to drive it, so I hope I get to see him make a pass at the drag strip, you know. I want to sit in the grandstands and listen to the crowd reaction, you know. I never get to do that.
Well, I can tell you, everybody was standing around here taking pictures and watching it, and just the sound, jet engine sound, you can't beat it.
Can't get enough of it.
And then the afterburner popping like you were doing.
It's
beautiful.
As soon as you start the van and you start moving it, the people just start coming around. They start lining up. They got the cameras out. They're waiting.
Yeah.
Kinda.
And the opening part with the window just boom drops down, engine comes out, and then boom, you start.
Is that
hearing
what you do when folks tailgate you? You open that up?
Yeah, we actually have a rear view camera. I got my rear view camera so I can turn it on, you know, without putting it in reverse. And we look at people's faces when that thing opens up. There's one lady in a Mercedes on the phone, and she was just like on the phone. All of a sudden, she's like, you know, she didn't know what happened. She stopped tailgating me.
Yeah, for once they hang up and drive when they see that.
Yeah.
I tell you, Chris, these Coffee and Cars events, they're just so much fun to come to. You see so many different types of cars. You see so many different people out there talking about their cars, just doing the different things. And you are a big part of that. You make it a lot more enjoyable. You add a lot of the excitement to it.
Yeah, well, I got to support Vince and Coffee and Cars, just like I got to support C&C Auto. You guys do a lot of good things.
And we appreciate it. Now, big question. Do you think that sometime that we can do a show at a place to where you show us what a laser cutter will do?
Absolutely. I just installed a machine up in Chattanooga. Hopefully I'll be getting the sale a little bit closer to the area, but yeah, that would be real cool. We could go to a customer. I can show you some of the older lasers and some of the newer lasers, and when you see these things cut, you'll just be blown away. It's like when I first saw it cut, it was a piece of 3/8 stainless sitting in there, and it just looks like somebody drew on it. And then you go over there and you look and you realize those are cuts. You know, it looks like a pencil line. The cuts are only a couple thousandths wide. I know you're a techno geek like me, and I know you're just going to be. We're going to go take all the covers off and look at all the gears and blinking lights and whatnot, and yeah, it's going to be a good lesson. Anybody who's interested in lasers will definitely like to see that.
And maybe and I would love to also have the opportunity sometime to see somebody we visit some 3D printer type places also.
Yeah, that's something I'm wanting to work on myself. I want to get up to speed on. There's just so many 3D printers, it's hard to pick one out right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something me and Richard were planning on doing. I guess he's having trouble getting a little bike started.
Yeah. You want to go over there and help him?
Yeah, let me give him a hand. Maybe we can get that thing running for you guys.
Well, we appreciate it. If he does, that'd be great.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys.
Okay, that was Chris Krug, and Chris is always a lot of fun. I always enjoy talking to Chris because he's always open for firing up the jet-powered minivan, and he's just a lot of fun to talk to. He gets involved in a lot of stuff.
This is the first time I heard him talk about his laser experience.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, and then a 3D printer and so forth.
Well,
I've not seen any of that stuff actually work, so I think that would be very interesting.
I think that's his real job, is working with laser cutting devices. And he's been doing that for a long period of time. And he is I look forward to seeing that also. He was in Spain not too long ago. Looks like we got a phone call. Let me see if I can bring that call up. Let's see here. we will go over to
George.
Welcome to the C&C Auto Show, and what can we help you with?
Yeah, this is George. I want to try to answer the tech tip quiz.
Oh, George, hold on. We're going to need to put you on stage. Okay, George, the question was, George was at a coffee event with his 76 Continental. At the event, he announced that he would pay any person over $6.25 to jump behind the wheel of the Continental. It was only a little over $6, but a lot of people took him up on the offer. Why did he pay over $6 just to jump in behind the wheel? And if you know the answer, we are ready for you. George, all eyes are on you.
Well, I think George had too much to drink, and he wanted someone old enough to jump behind the wheel, and he was going to pay him. And at the time, that's what the minimum wage was.
Oh, my goodness. Man, I am so sorry. Oh,
no!
All right.
Hate pushing that button.
But that was a good try, though, and we appreciate it very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Richard with his jet-powered mini motorcycle. It's firing up. It looks like it's going to be running during the final 30 seconds to a minute before we sign off. Yes, he does have it running. And Richard is getting ready to get on this jet-powered mini motorcycle. And he is there. He's going to fire it up. Here we go. There it is. Smoke him up. I believe this is the world's smallest jet motorcycle. And he has it running. There it is.
Just when you think you'd seen it all.
And as he's, there he goes. Oh, beautiful sight. Okay, we're going to wind it down because we are out of time. We got to pull over for now, put this bad boy in the garage. We have sure enjoyed the Coffee and Cars event here in Augusta, Georgia. Jim, we had a great time, didn't we?
It's fun. And
it was a blast.
And the technical,
thank you to
and the technical folks that put it out here every day.
They did. And I'm going to say
remotes.
thank you to Mason Rogers and Jacob Johnson. We had a great time, and we will see you again next week with more of the C&C Auto Show.
Rocket Show.